Hi, this is Nicolette Barrett, the Get Higher Strategist, coming to you with a quick recording on the 6-second leadership judgment nobody warned you about, and why strong leaders keep getting overlooked when their profile tells a story of their past, but not their future. There is a quiet kind of frustration that a lot of high-performing leaders carry. It is not loud. It is not dramatic. It is more like this steady internal tension that says, I know I am capable of more, so why does the market not seem to see it? That question is more common than people admit, and I hear it a lot of times from my clients. And the answer is often less personal than it feels. You may not be overlooked because you lack credibility. You may be overlooked because your positioning is just unclear. That's a very different problem, and it's one that's worth fixing. One of the hardest truths for smart, accomplished leaders to accept is that the market does not spend much time trying to figure you out. It makes quick calls, like a recruiter scans your profile, a decision maker glances at your headline, a peer clicks on your About section, an executive looks at your title, scope, and summary language, and in a matter of seconds, a mental decision starts forming. Do I understand this person? Do I know what level they operate at? Can I picture them in something bigger? Is their next move obvious? That does not mean the market is fair. It means the market is fast. And when the signal is weak, people simply move on. This is where so many strong leaders get lost. They have done meaningful work. They have led teams, made change, managed change, made impact, solved problems, hard problems at that, and delivered real outcomes. But their profile does not create any emotional or strategic pull. It reads like a careful archive of responsibilities. Accurate, maybe. Compelling? Not really. And that's the tragedy, because a leader is not weak. The story is. A lot of leaders were taught that if they worked hard, stayed loyal, delivered results, and kept growing, the next opportunity will naturally come. Sometimes it does, but here's the thing. A lot of times it does not. Because opportunities at the senior levels are not just based on contribution. They're based on interpretation. And interpretation is shaped by how clearly your leadership identity is communicated. If your profile tells me where you have been, but not where you are headed, I'm forced to make assumptions, usually conservative ones, usually backward-looking ones, usually ones that keep you tied to your current category. That is not how leaders with executive level potential keep getting matched to mid-level conversations. Not because they're not ready, but because they're not clearly positioned. This part is really crucial. Your past is not enough. It matters. Yes, of course it does. But your past alone is not what creates movement. Decision makers are not just asking, what has this person done? They're really asking this question. What are they ready to do next? And that's a very different question. And most profiles are answering the first one while neglecting the second. That is why so many profiles feel heavy with the accomplishments, but light on direction. Impressive history, true enough, but an unclear future. That combination slows everything down because clarity is not a cosmetic issue. People treat positioning like it's fluff. It's not. It is strategy. Clarity changes how you are categorized, how quickly you are trusted, what level of conversation opens up, whether people can imagine you at the next level without needing a lot of explanation. That matters in a recruiter research or even a headhunter who's looking for your talent. It matters in internal advancement at the company you work for. It matters even in the boardrooms. And guess what, y'all? It matters in executive branding. It matters because leaders who are not clearly positioned often end up underused, underestimated, or delayed. And that cost adds up. This is personal and is also structural. I think one reason this hits so hard is because leaders tend to internalize it. They assume silence means deficiency. They assume lack of traction means they need more credentials, more proving, more patience, and more time. Sometimes the issue is not that you need more. Sometimes the issue is that what is already there is not being presented with enough precision. That is not a personal failure, y'all. It's a strategic gap. And strategic gaps can be fixed. What strong positioning actually really does, it helps your profile communicate who you are as a leader, what kind of business impact you drive or have driven, the level of scope you are built for, and why your next move makes sense. It shifts your profile from passive information to active signaling. That is what creates better conversations, not because you became someone new, because your value became easier to see. So my belief, this is one reason I care so much about the work that I do. At iRock, I believe too many strong leaders are getting overlooked, not because they're unqualified, but because they're just underpositioned. And organizations are not paying for that. They're paying for you to be positioned so they can see clearly what it is you want to do. Because every time a leader's story is unclear, talents get missed, misread, and even underused. And that is just unfortunate. And guess what? That's also expensive. So if your profile tells a story about your past, but a weak story about your future, it's time to change that. So come on, reach out to me. Go to irockresumes.com and book a call so we can talk about how to reposition you for your leadership story, the leadership story that you deserve. That's with more clarity and strategic impact. The right experience deserves the right positioning, and I'm here to help you. So again, go to irockresumes.com and book a call, and let's chat about your next. The investment will be well worth it. Bye for now.